Hey, it's Natalie Hill here with a training for the mature entrepreneur on how to pick a profitable online course topic using the P3 method. So, when you use the P3 method, you will first pick a topic that is possible for you to teach because you are confident and you are qualified to teach it. Secondly, your topic is something that you will be passionate about so that your enthusiasm and your joy of teaching it will carry you through the highs and the lows that are inevitable on any journey. And third, it is a topic that people will pay to learn so that it can be profitable. So I'd so look forward to teaching you this P3 method, which is going to save you a lot of time and stress and help you be profitable with every online course you offer. Okay, so we're starting. This is the training, how to pick a profitable online course topic. So welcome, mature entrepreneurs. I'm so excited to be here with you today to share this training. And so you're going to learn today, you're going to discover the 3 questions to ask yourself that are really going to help you save time and get a start with a profitable topic so that you don't offer a course, get a course all created and ready only to find that people don't want to buy it. Okay, you're going to learn a quick 5-minute exercise that you're actually going to do today right along with me, and you're going to discover your top profitable course topics for now. Okay, so question: what is a profitable online course topic? So it's the intersection of 3 things. So hold on a second, I'm going to show you a different slide here. Let me get that. Okay. Share. Awesome. Getting it? Okay. So a profitable topic is the intersection of 3 things. It is your possibilities. So this is basically everything that you could teach. And this will literally be dozens of topics. Okay. I don't care who you are. You have lived a full life. And so this could be dozens of topics. And then it's also your passion. So of all of your possibilities, which are the things that you're passionate about? And so that's what's going to go in here in the middle. And then third, it is which of these things could bring you a profit? So which of the topics that are possible for you that you're passionate about could be profitable? And that's what's going to go in this final little section in the center. And so, possibilities are everything that you could teach. And so we're going to talk more about that in a second. Passion is about things that you would love teaching. These are topics that would be fun for you to teach. And so your passion for this topic will ride you over the challenges that will naturally come up as you move toward your goal. And then third, the profit, what's profitable, these are the topics that people are actually looking for. They're already searching for these on Google. These are the topics that people will pay to learn. And and also the people that have the ability to pay to learn, and maybe even people who have a history of paying. Okay, so let's go deeper into why would you want to do this. So if you don't do this process, you could spend lots of time creating an online course that you love, that you know that people need, that you really want to teach, but nobody's looking to learn. Nobody's willing to pay for it. And this could lead you to get discouraged and give up on your dream of teaching an online course. And so I just want to say, if you are there we go, teaching an online course. So you could decide, you could think that, like, since your course is a flop, you could think there's something wrong with you. You could think that you're not cut out to do online courses. You could think that nobody will buy anything from you. These are all erroneous conclusions. These conclusions do not have a basis in reality, but these are common conclusions that people make. And if you didn't do the P3 process that I'm going to take you through today, to make sure that you have a profitable topic, this could happen, and we don't want this to happen. So when you do this process, you will be on the right track toward producing a course that's a winner from the start. You'll increase your confidence from the start, and your likelihood of success will dramatically increase. Okay, so how do you do it? How do you do this? Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back a little bit here, and let's start with possibilities. So here's the question that you ask yourself with possibilities. You ask yourself, what could I teach? What could I teach? What are my possibilities for online courses? Now, like I said before, you're going to have dozens. You might feel right now like, I don't have dozens. I don't even know if I have two, but that's not true. So everything that you could possibly teach. So you could say something that you could, that you're, fairly confident about. So you've got life experience in the topic. It's something you learned it by doing. It could be a combination of, so for me, I have all my life, I have been, hold on, this countdown timer is driving me crazy. It's like putting bubbles in the air. Okay, so all my life, I have been a combination of adventurous and fearful. That's a challenging combination to have. So I'm driven to take action and get stuff done and do courageous things and risky things and do new things. At the same time, I can feel a lot of fear. I could feel a lot of insecurity. And so to be able to reconcile those two, I have learned and discovered a whole bunch of ways to overcome fear and to overcome insecurity and to actually become more confident and calm and able to do adventurous, risky, challenging things without it killing me, without it destroying me because I've been so afraid. So this is one thing that I can teach others because I have personal experience in this transformation. So I want you to be thinking, Valerie says I can relate to that paradox. So I want you to be thinking about what are some of the things that you could teach based on your life experience, and go ahead and pop them in the comments if you'd like to. Okay, then the second thing is, so that's first thing is life experience. The second thing is you want to think about things that you have been trained or educated in, topics that you've been trained or educated in. And so we've all been to school. You've had, some degree of schooling. Some people have gone through elementary or high school or college or a master's degree or a PhD or, beyond that. And so I was trained as a teacher. And so I could teach all kinds of things about teaching. And one of the things I was a specialist in is cooperative education. So that's one of the things that I could teach. And since I used what I learned and did with my kids in the 4th grade, then I adapted it to adults, to teach adults in virtual spaces like Zoom, and also even in live in-person workshops and that. And so I could teach people how to create collaborative, supportive, friendly, caring communities that support learning and success and help make your students want to keep learning from you and taking your next program, buying your next thing. So think about the jobs that you've had, what you learned in those jobs, and what you could teach based on what you were taught in the jobs. Everything that you've learned to do, some of it would be self-learning, like books that you learned or things that you taught yourself. Like I've done some watercolor classes. I don't feel competent to teach that, but that's something that I've taken classes in. So anything that you could teach others. And for now, don't limit them based on what you want to teach. We're going for quantity here, not necessarily quality. So it doesn't have to be all the things that you want to teach, just go for it, make the biggest list that you can. And so while you're doing that, I'm going to give you a bunch of my examples because I just thought of a lot of examples while I was preparing for this today. And so I could teach how to clear shame because that's one of the things that I've had a lot of in my life. And so I've created and I have honed a lot of methods for clearing shame. I could teach how to use shadow work to decrease fear, to decrease shame, decrease insecurity, decrease anxiety, procrastination, exhaustion, and increase calm, confidence, creativity, caring, connection, charisma, health, wealth, and success. So that's something that I actually did teach. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. I could teach low oxalate cooking because that's something that I'm doing right now, and I have learned a lot about it. So in terms of exercise, I could teach strength building for mature women. I could teach how to design a strength building, high intensity, what's it called? High intensity interval training, HIIT workout. I could teach a bunch of stuff regarding time management, like how to get a lot done in a little bit of time, how to overcome natural resistance to getting stuff done. Like I said before, I could teach cooperative learning. I could teach how to shoot professional videos on a shoestring. Heck, I could teach what I'm doing right now, how to shoot a, Facebook Live and share your screen via Zoom, hopefully without an echo going on. I could teach what the tech, I could teach the simplest tech that you need for creating online courses. I could teach how to overcome chronic fatigue. I could teach how to continually grow your confidence and your creativity. I could teach how to overcome chronic anxiety, how to stop muscle cramps. You see these things, they go in all different directions. How to teach kids to write, how to teach kids long division, how to teach kids to solve math story problems, how to work with Google Drive, how to work with Google spreadsheets, how to overcome overwhelm, how to create an online course, how to launch an online course, how to come up with profitable ideas for online courses. I could teach how to hire a virtual assistant and how to train and manage a virtual assistant. I could teach how to wash your face, moisturize, and exfoliate all in one simple process. I could teach how to ride an electric bike, how to select an electric bike for you. I could teach how to make electrolyte water. So, these go in all different directions. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to make a list that it's like bouncing off in so many different directions. And if you'd like to, in the chat in our Facebook group, just pop a couple into the messages there, just so we can see a few of your ideas. Okay, so now we go to the second of the 3 Ps, and this is passion. So now that you've made your massive list, and it's really beneficial for you to just do what I did and go in every possible direction. These do not have to be all in one, I teach online courses, but all of mine were not related to online courses. They were all over the map. And so it's better to have a really big list that you've brainstormed before you look and say, what am I passionate about? And so that is the next question. What am I passionate about? Of all the things that I could teach, what would I actually enjoy teaching? Okay, so that's the question of what am I passionate about? And so this one is quicker, way quicker than the possibilities. The possibilities might take the longest. It's quicker. And so you can ask yourself, is there anything else that, hold on a second, is there anything else that I might be passionate about that's not on my possibilities list? So now you're wanting to actually expand that list. And then you want to list, what are you passionate about? So for me, some of the things that I didn't think of with my possibilities list is I'm passionate about vibrant aging. I am passionate about courageous aging. I'm passionate about staying young no matter what age you are. And I'm not just talking about looking young and avoiding wrinkles, because I don't know if we can actually do that. I haven't, but about continuing to be youthful in your mind and in your heart and in your spirit and in your body, even as you look older. Yeah. So so one of my thoughts is how to keep getting younger, smarter, more creative, happier, wealthier, more conscious, and more loving as you age, and how everyone and anyone has an online course in them. So those are some of the things that I'm passionate about that I could add to my list. And so there's some cool topics that people are putting into the chat in the Facebook group. Thank you for that. That's great. Okay, so I suggest that you keep your passion list and your possibilities list going for a week at least. Don't just sit down once and spend 5 minutes and say, I'm done with this. Keep it going, because what will happen is you keep it going, and you take a little notebook with you wherever you go anywhere, so that you can add items to your list, or keep it on your phone or whatever. You will find your list expanding in directions that you didn't think of when you first started this. And so see how large your list can get as you open your mind and your heart and your intuition to insights about your possibilities and passions. And then what's going to end up is, in the middle of this Venn diagram are going to be the things that are possibilities for you, but also that you're passionate about. So that's what ends up in the middle here. Things that are possible, but also things you're passionate about, because you got to be passionate about teaching an online course. Otherwise, you might get bored with it or lose steam on it. Or, if you don't have that passion to carry you through, you might, you just might lose interest, Okay, so now let's go to the third of the P's. The third P is profit. So what questions do you ask yourself here? You ask yourself, who would pay for this? Or better, would anybody pay for this? Is there anybody out there that would pay to learn this thing? And so that's the first question. Would anybody pay for this? Second, you can ask, are people already paying for something like this? And so this is where you can do some Google research. You can get out there and type your topic and type, let's say I wanted to do it on making electrolyte water. Make electrolyte water online course, make electrolyte water training, make electrolyte water coaching. So you add training, coaching, or online course to your topic, and then it will bring up anybody who's teaching this as a course. And so my guess is there's probably nobody teaching a course on how to make electrolyte water, because it's too small. Now, how to overcome muscle cramps. Drinking electrolyte water is one of the methods of how to overcome muscle cramps. So sometimes you have to go a little larger, like how to overcome muscle cramps. I think I could teach an online course on that, and I think people would take it, and I think I could make money. It's not a bad idea. And so sometimes you have to get broader, but sometimes you have to get smaller. Like if I teach, what was I going to say? Like if I teach how to be happy, that's pretty broad. But if I narrowed it a little bit and say, how to be happy in your retirement years, or how to be happy after 60, now I'm getting more like, okay, maybe someone would line up for an online course. And so what you do to Google your profit is you put your course idea, you put your topic idea, and then you add online course or program or coaching, something like that. Okay. So, I'm little story. So as I told you, if you were here on this call earlier, I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of shadow work, because I've had so much fear, and I've had so much creativity and drive at the same time, that I couldn't be happy if I was like straitjacketed by my fear. And so I had to find a way to overcome the fear, so that my creativity, so that I could give birth to my creativity, and I could actually live who I am, because who I am is not fear. Fear is never who we are. Fear is just a protective mechanism. And so I had done so much work over the years, and I had done enough that it was like the snowball had reached this big size, and I was really seeing the effect of this all this work that I had done, the shadow work that I had done. I was so much more confident. My creativity was like through the roof, and I was more calm. I didn't have that constant fear. And so at that point I thought, this is valuable. This is important. I want to teach people how to do this. And so I decided to offer a course called shadow dancing. And so I taught it first to a group that I was teaching. I taught it to them for free because I wanted to kind of do a beta test. I didn't know if it would work, and I didn't know if anybody would want it. And so I taught it to them, and they were raving about it. They were really encouraging me to do it. They loved it. They said, go for it, offer the course. And so I did. I went ahead and offered it. And I did a very simple launch. I taught a couple of workshops online, similar to what I'm doing now, but I taught them on Zoom. People signed up for it. And 72 people signed up for that course. And this was just like a year and a half ago. Oh, thank you, Karen. This was just a year and a half ago. I did it at the beginning of the pandemic. And so this was a combination of, so I knew it was possible for me. I knew I had passion about it. I didn't know if it was profitable. And honestly, I didn't even do the Google research that I'm telling you to do. I didn't. But I just decided I'm just going to throw this out there and see if anybody signs up for it. And so they did, and it worked. So this is another way that you can actually test to see if your topic is profitable. But the thing is, I don't recommend that you put a lot of work into it, because if you only get 2 people signing up, you're probably not going to want to teach it, or you may not want to teach it. So anyway, that was one example of that. Okay, the second way that you can test, third way actually. So the first way you can test for profitability is Google research. Who else is doing this? Because if somebody else is doing it, that's a good sign. That means that people are paying for it. Don't think that that means that it's like saturated and there's no room for you. No way. No, it means that actually a very good sign. So the second way you can do it is to actually put your course out there. Go ahead and launch your course and see if people will sign up for it. And if they do, okay, this is a winner. And third, you can do what I call market research interviews. We call these MRIs in my courses. And so what a market research interview is you actually reach out to people and you say, okay, I'm looking for a few people to talk to who have this problem that my course solves, and they want this solution, and who'd be willing to have a conversation with me. And you say, I'm not selling anything. There is nothing for sale. I just want to learn from you because I'm thinking of creating an online course on this topic, and I want to know more about it. I want to know more about the people who would want this. And so this is a very valuable thing to do, even though oftentimes people are scared to do it. It gives you so much information. And just think of yourself as the interviewer. You're like, I don't know, you're like Ellen DeGeneres or the good old days, Johnny Carson, or, you're one of those, you're Oprah, you're asking the questions. You're not coming on there as the expert. You're the curious investigator. And so that can take the pressure off because you don't actually have to know anything. You just have to be open-minded, curious, ask questions, listen well, and ask more follow-up questions. Okay. So then when you do, so the numbers are going to get smaller and smaller. Possibilities is going to be the biggest list. Passion is going to be a smaller list. And then profit is going to be even a smaller list, because now you're looking at, of the things that are possible for me and I'm passionate about, which are the things that are also profitable. Okay. So here's some of the things you want to watch out for. So in possibilities, you definitely want to say, okay, it's possible to teach this, and do I know enough about it? Am I enough of an expert that I could really do a great job? So my previous topic on how to overcome muscle cramps, I am not an expert on this. I have overcome my own muscle cramps. But before I would teach a course on this, I would want to do more research. I would want to read some books on this topic, or at least read some articles on this topic. I would want to learn more about the causes of muscle cramps. And I would want to, I'd want to bone up on it a little bit. So I'm not just saying this worked for me, it's got to be the greatest thing. And some of the topics that I could teach, like I said that I could teach how to teach kids long division. Okay. Now we're getting over into passion. So the passion part is, do I really want to teach that? So I don't want to teach people how to do long division. I know a lot about Google Drive and Google Sheets and spreadsheets and all that. I don't want to teach that. It's just not fun for me. I could teach people how to, I could teach people how to grow an email list. So this is some part of what I do teach, but I don't necessarily want to teach a standalone online course on it. I want to teach it as part of what I part of the other stuff that I do. It's part of launching an online course, but I don't want to necessarily teach it as a standalone thing. So you want to look at, yes, it's possible, but do I know enough about it? If I need to learn more, am I willing to go back and get myself further educated, do more training? Sometimes it's a clear yes, sometimes it's a clear no. And then about passion, it's like, yeah, I have this giant list of things that I could teach, but which ones do I actually want to teach? If I go back up and look at my list, I definitely don't want to teach how to teach kids how to solve math story problems. Now, in terms of overcoming overwhelm, yes, I'm very interested in that topic, and I do teach that as part of my other larger courses. But would I want to teach a course specifically on how to overcome overwhelm? Not really. It doesn't interest me enough as a standalone thing. So that's not one of the things that's going to go in the center here for me. Okay, so if you've got some ideas of of some ideas, you can put those in there of things that have that are profitable for you. Okay, so Sam says that the idea of launching a course before it's created sounds terrifying. Okay, so if that's the case for you, you don't have to do that. And you can also do a little mini launch. You could launch a course to 10 people or to 5 people. That might be your way of testing it out. Because when you launch a course before you've created it, the launch is a test. Because if it doesn't fly, or if you only have one person sign up, you can refund them and say, I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to revise what it is that I was teaching. Okay, so I'd love to hear, what is your biggest takeaway from this training? And so here we are. So now you have worked with the P3 method of picking a profitable online course. You have explored your possibilities, your passions, and the profitability for your course ideas. And when you use the P3 method, every time you have an idea for an online course, you're on your way to always picking a profitable topic. And remember, being a mature entrepreneur is not just about getting older. It's about making an ongoing contribution to the world by continually expanding in health, wealth, success, consciousness, and love as you inspire others to do the same. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon on the next Mature Entrepreneur training.